Yo, what is going on, guys? We're on a fantastic day today. So we're going to go over the cap situation, what's going on with the numbers. Obviously, when I came out the news of the new contract for Jalen Hurts, we didn't have any numbers yet. And obviously, this updated throughout the day and got everything. All the pieces of information we need is right here. And holy crap, this deal for Jalen Hurts and how team-friendly it is almost that ridiculous in a good way. So let's get straight into all of this news.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, I hope everyone's having a great day. And obviously working throughout the week, guys, you guys going, to work, you must feel pretty good that the Eagles have signed Jalen Hurts to that 5-year, $255 million extension, $179 million guaranteed. There's obviously some incentives in that. And looking at the contract, what is this deal going to look like now going into the next few years? And I gotta say, Howie Roseman has done a phenomenal job. I mean, making obviously the highest paid quarterback right now, getting this deal done before obviously Justin Herbert, before this Lamar Jackson situation going on, even Joe Burrow. I mean, they got it done. They got it done at the right time. And Hurts, this just shows that Hurts is all about the team at the end of the day. There was probably no question that they were going to make this so team friendly, and there was the rumors of that, which is interesting. I made a mistake on the last video because I thought it was a little bit lower than $51 million, but it is $51 million a year, which is awesome. That was the rumor at first, and then it went to 45, and then I guess they stuck with 51 million, which is good. So the cap numbers for Jalen Hurts right now, the next 4 years, and obviously there was a thing for Daniel Jones as well. The comparison, okay, Jalen Hurts is making an extra $11 million a year than Daniel Jones in this whole entire deal. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Look at Jalen Hurts, 23. He's making 6.15. He's actually, he got a little bit of a pay raise for this season, which is great. $23 million signing bonus on top of it. 24, 13.5, 25, 21 26, 31. I mean, this is absolutely insane. It shows Jalen Hurts' character throughout this process of this contract. Is just, I've never felt so good about a contract. I mean, look at Daniel Jones, 21 million this year, 45, 39, 56. It's absolutely insane, these numbers. And 2024, okay, he's only a $13.56 million cap hit. You're going to potentially have 12 draft picks next year with those 4 comp picks. Not only that, but the Eagles can restructure 4 to 5 players next year and free up so much cap space. Remember when you heard those rumors, maybe it's from Cowboy fans, maybe it's from rival fans saying, if Jalen, that's it, it's going to be over. This is the downfall of the Eagles. They signed Jalen Hurts, they'll have no money, blah, blah, blah. It's just, when you have a quarterback that is willing to restructure and really, Howie Roseman gave out the whole plan to Jalen Hurts, obviously, of what they're going to do with his contract. And, you look at these other quarterbacks' cap hits, and they're just insane. It really shows you what they have built here, and it really shows you on all the players that have been, even guys that came back, that have been, very loyal. And you don't really get that when it's more about the team more than the player. You don't have a quarterback right now that's really trying to strangle and suck the blood out of this organization like a vampire as much as possible for every cent that they have. And you have to give Jalen Hurts a lot of respect for that. And look, like there's nothing against, guys getting their money. But when it comes to these cap hits, when, GMs are having trouble trying to fit these quarterbacks under their cap where they can make extra moves. I mean, really, at the end of the day, you look at this year with 6.15, 24, only $13.5 million cap hit. That's absolutely nothing with 4 to 5 players you can restructure next year. Literally, it's absolutely insane. So, I mean, you're keeping everything from $30 million and below for a cap hit, which is fantastic compared to these other quarterbacks right now. It's just insane. And there's more to even look at. This is for the cap hits combined for the next 2 seasons for quarterbacks. I mean, this is just ridiculous. And shout out to Victor Williams for all the information. Patrick Mahomes, $86 million. Dak Prescott, $86. Deshaun Watson, $83. Okay. Matthew Stafford, $69. Okay. Josh Allen, $65. Kyler Murray, $67. Daniel Jones, $66. 19.7 for Jalen Hurts in 2 seasons, 2 cap hits. It's just nuts. I mean, I can't get over this. I've never felt so comfortable about a contract. I've never felt so, not worried if Hurts is going to pan. When a guy gets a new contract, you always worry. Are they going to fall down? Are they going to go off the rails? Are they, usually when guys get their money, they just don't play as hard. They just don't take it as seriously. There's so much you think about. And, man, I've never felt so comfortable and so, I feel really good about the situation. I feel absolutely amazing about it. And highest paid quarterbacks, obviously, right now, it's Jalen Hurts at $51 million a year, okay? So a lot could change here down the line. So I'm glad, like I said, they got this done before Herbert and Joe Burrow. And obviously, the situation with Lamar Jackson going on right now. Even Deshaun Watson, with all the stuff that he was going on with him, they still signed him to a pretty big deal too. But it's kind of crazy. Highest paid quarterback, but lowest cap numbers in the next few years. It's just insane, man. Just imagine. Just what you're looking at here. I'm so I don't even know what to say. Howie Roseman, this culture, what they're building here, it's just something else. Jeffrey Lurie wasn't kidding. Even listening to Ian Rappaport the other day, and Ian Rappaport was talking about Jeffrey Lurie, really since last year. He already made this decision. This last year in 21, they already knew he was the franchise guy last year. They already knew it. Obviously, they came in with a new coaching staff, a head coach, new coordinators. Not a lot of young players, not a lot of veterans. It was a big learning curve for this offense and this defense last year. And obviously, they didn't have crazy money to go spend elsewhere. They had a good draft, but the draft can only take you so far with the other talent you have on the team. So, yeah, it's just pretty amazing to see, guys. Other news as well. Devin White. I don't know what's going on here, but Devin White has been, he actually tweeted back. I don't know if I think this is IG. Actually left a message on IG to the Eagles, taking care of yours, seeing that, Jalen Hurts signed that extension. I don't know, Devin White's getting involved. First, it was obviously with Greedy Williams because they played together, and now he's tweeting at I don't know if he's trying to give them a sign or something. I don't know what's going on, but I guess, maybe he wants to come here. I don't know. For the price of $18 to $20 million, it's not going to happen, but Devin White has been all over Eagles media, and I think he does follow Jalen Hurts and a few other players as well, which is pretty cool. This doesn't really mean anything, but he's been pretty maybe he sees I think players start to see what a team is building and how when somebody earns a contract, they get the contract. Not all the time, but when somebody really earns it, the Eagles like to make their players happy. Okay, Devin White is not being made happy with Tampa Bay right now. So, you know what I mean? He could be a little jealous right now because they're taking care of their own guys, and he's sitting over there in Tampa, and they don't even want to pay him at all. They don't want to give him a new deal. So this should be pretty interesting. So I was kind of looking at this for a while. There's been a lot of Budda Baker stuff going on. Nothing crazy, though, but Boston Scott trying to recruit Budda Baker. I don't know if they played together. I don't know if there's a pass with these two guys or whatnot. But Budda Baker just saying, hard work prevails, really giving the respect for Jalen Hurts around the league from players is just from a guy that was benched in Alabama, that transferred to Oklahoma, that kind of reinvented himself, got to the NFL, people saying he was a gadget quarterback, he'll never be anything, and really just everybody eating their words. And other players in the league are really respecting that. And I think a lot of fans were starting to get humble about it. And trust me, I was one of those guys when he was drafted. I didn't hate the player. I just hated where he was picked. And obviously we were paying a quarterback already. So for a guy that wasn't going to start on the field for us, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But, at the financials, where our financials were when we drafted Hurts, I just wasn't big on it because it wasn't a big need at the time. But who knows? I didn't see this whole thing with Carson Wentz happening. And I didn't see him backing out, getting mentally and physically just beaten out of his job. It's just kind of crazy how things fall apart. It's crazy how things come together, I should say. Really, this team is rebuilt like 3 times, literally. I mean, yeah, pretty much 3 times. With Chip they rebuilt, with Doug they rebuilt, and I mean they pretty much rebuilt this team 3 times. And still like. They've been doing a really good job. I mean, look, I'm not saying every year is great. I'm not saying every draft is great, but, they have Howie Roseman these past 2 seasons he's turned a 180 on us and really has done a good job. So, so Budda Baker, obviously with the contract that he has right now, there's been rumors about Budda Baker as well. So Boston Scott trying his hardest to recruit him. And there's been news about Budda Baker as well that it might only take, this from Albert Breer, and it might only take a 2nd, 3rd round pick to get him. The problem I have is his contract, $16 million cap hit this year, $18 million cap hit next year. He's making $13 to $14 million these next 2 seasons. So if he had 1 more year left on his deal, I could say it makes sense. But because those cap numbers are big, I mean, there's some, and they're looking for a trade because the Cardinals will save $14 million regardless. So you never know what could happen here. I don't think the Eagles are trading up to the 3rd overall pick. It's definitely not going to happen. I just don't see it, but you never know what could happen. And I'm not saying during the draft they trade for a player, but it could be after the draft too. There's a lot of veteran type players or players that have 1 to 2 years on their deals right now on teams that kind of want on the outs right now. You know what I mean? That kind of want to be on the outs right now. Kyler Murray is coming off an ACL, and I think Budda Baker just doesn't think this team is going anywhere. So, he thinks it's much rebuilding, and he wants to take his talents elsewhere. And obviously with the Philadelphia Eagles, he would start immediately. They would move Terrell Edmonds over, and Reed would probably be the number 3 guy. So we've talked about the Budda Baker stuff a few times already, but more news starting to come about what it would take to trade for him. Obviously, I'm not trading my 2nd round pick this year unless they were going to draft a safety anyway. That's all I can really say about it. If they're looking for a safety in the 2nd round, obviously drafting a safety would be great because then you don't have to pay him and you don't have to watch for his contract and he'll be much cheaper. So I totally get that instant. But if they want a caliber player where they're like, well, our window's open now, we're getting some players and we need to add more firepower to this defense for Sean Desai, and obviously Sean Desai is a big part of this because he really is going to be the main factor here. You're not going to have some depth, crazy defense like you did last year, which I think would have been one of the best defenses in NFL history, but which it potentially could have been. But when he didn't have a defensive coordinator, didn't make adjustments and didn't, gave quarterbacks way too much respect. And it really annoyed me. It really did. And where it counted the most, you lost the biggest game of the year. And the Eagles are trying to get back to it with a really, really, really bad, deficient conference right now. Outside the 49ers, the NFC East probably pretty good once again this year. And, Budda Baker, could happen. You never know. Like I said, you never know. How they deal with that contract is a whole nother story for me. And that's going to be on Howie Roseman to figure that out because those cap numbers are pretty big right now. So, other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, when you look at it, guys, we got a bargain. We got a deal. We got Jalen Hurts is another type of character, man. Just a character. And Howie Roseman with the numbers has just been fantastic. Obviously, the 2026 season will be the most expensive season towards the cap. This is a no-trade clause deal. The Eagles do not want Jalen Hurts going anywhere. So Jalen Hurts can't ask for a trade. None of that. No trade clause. They want him here. It's obsessive. His attitude is just mentality, attitude, work ethic. I've never felt so not worried about a contract ever. This is the first time I've felt comfortable with a contract. Not to say I've never felt good about Kelsey extension or, stuff like that. But I'm talking about like a quarterback in general. Like I've never felt so man, I with Carson Wentz's contract extension, yeah, that worried me because they paid him before Russell got paid from Seattle. We got him for a lot cheaper, but he was dealing with injuries, and we didn't know what was going to happen. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of like what ifs with him. I don't have any what ifs with Jalen Hurts. I don't. I mean, you make it to the Super Bowl in 2 years, I would say, not even 3, because he got thrown into 5 games in 2020, so I can't even count that year. But gravitating the players around him, players want to play in Philadelphia, that want to play with Jalen Hurts, that just want to join what we're building here. It's just so intoxicatingly just, how do you not want to play with this team? And very excited. So those are your cap numbers for Jalen Hurts for the next few years. We talked about 24, even next year. The amount of restructures they can make, the Eagles can have a lot of cap space and a lot of draft, and they can restructure 4 or 5 guys next year. I'm not going to say they're going to do that, but there are guys that can restructure for more caps. They could. I'm telling you, we're living in a really good time right now with the Eagles. The Eagles are financially stable. They are smarter on the draft picks now. They have been doing a good job the past 2 off seasons, and we're not putting ourselves in any holes, and we're not giving past contracts to players that did good a few years ago. Like, this is a year-to-year type league, and a player is year-to-year based off of the contract that they do get, or a formative amount of work that they do in a few years that gives them that new contract. So you have the draft coming up in 10 days. Man, this is exciting. It really is exciting, guys. I'm happy for Jalen Hurts. I'm happy that, Howie Roseman got this done. Not even just that, but such a team-friendly deal that makes him the highest-paid quarterback as of right now. And then you work this so good to where you get those cap numbers down. I'm telling you, the selflessness of players, or selfish. I don't know how to say it, but for guys that aren't selfish on this team, it's just, it's kind of crazy. Selfish, I think that's the word. I'm getting confused, but all right. Well, I'm gonna end this video, but let me know what you guys think about Howie Roseman's numbers. And kind of giving you a little bit of a, just around the league what it looks like, and getting this done early before Joe Burrow and Herbert and these other contracts, Lamar Jackson. What's gonna go on with that? All that great stuff. Congratulations to Jalen Hurts. He deserves every freaking penny. And number 2, Howie Roseman, man, you kill this draft, man. I don't know. He does a good job in this draft. This is going to be really tough. This guy is just, the team is all ceiling, bro. All ceiling to be a great team for years to come. That's all I could say. So if you guys lasted this long in this video, this is almost 18 minutes long, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video as well for more content for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.